what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Whether you're new to aviation or an experienced pilot looking to advance your skills, Go Vertical Aviation has you covered. With an excellent learning atmosphere and a staff committed to excellence in education, Go Vertical Aviation will customize a learning program just for you. For more information, go to goverticalaviation.com or call 256-412-5226. Be sure to follow Go Vertical Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Don't just go. Go vertical.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta, Nashville, and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
no representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Many of you have now heard the term stepped-up basis and it possibly being eliminated, which is very concerning. I encourage you to schedule your free 15-minute consultation with attorney Harlan Mitchell to find out what you can do to protect yourself and your family. Schedule your appointment with attorney Harlan Mitchell by calling 256-216-9884 or by going to bamaestateplanning.com. Do it today.
Would you like enhanced energy, better moods, less fatigue, help with allergies, better sleep, mental clarity, or just want improvement of your overall immune health and well-being? Do you need to recover from intense activities, workouts, or sports? Then IV therapy at the Drip Factor inside Trinity Medical Center is right for you. Our IV drips are filled with nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that will help your body replenish, restore, and achieve your wellness goals. For more information, visit trinity-medicalcare.com and schedule your appointment today at Trinity Medical Center, located at 500 Governors Drive.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
Hey y'all, this is Jeff Foxworthy, and you can make a huge difference in somebody's life. You just may not have figured out how yet, and that's why you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi, this is Maggie Peterson. I played Charlene Darling on The Andy Griffith Show, and you are listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi folks, this is Ricky Skaggs, and you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hello, I'm Gene Stallings, and this is The Mark White Show. Get off the sideline and get involved and make a difference in your community.
You are listening to The Mark White Show. My daddy is your host, Mark White.
Welcome to a Wednesday edition of The Mark White Show. I am your host, Mark White. Just over a couple of years ago, you heard Stephanie Frederic as we shared about her son, Kiah. We were recognizing him because of a special photo that she had shared with him and Santa Claus, who was actually dad at the time. He was feeding Kiah through his feeding tube and bringing awareness to Tubie babies. I wanted to recognize Stephanie and that picture back then, and we had Stephanie on the show, and she had entered a photo contest with that picture, and they actually won. I was excited about that for the family, for Kiah. I wanted Stephanie to come back on the program because I have seen some amazing artwork that she has done when it comes to these model babies. I reached out to her, asked her about that, and of course I want to talk about Kiah some more, talk about Hezekiah's strength, and bring awareness to the situation with TBM. So Stephanie's back on the line with me. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Stephanie Frederic.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here.
Glad to have you. And for listeners who have been following for a couple of years now, tell us about Hezekiah and his current situation.
So Kiah was born with a lot of congenital airway abnormalities. So his whole life we've dealt with airway and feeding issues. So of course he has a feeding tube, and we've traveled back and forth. We're from Louisiana, but we've traveled back and forth to Boston Children's. And now we actually travel to Johns Hopkins in Florida because it's closer. But he's had a few major airway surgeries, and he's doing so much better. He really is. But we still have a couple hurdles to jump, and we'll be returning back to Johns Hopkins next month, actually, just in a couple weeks to see how his airway looks and to see if he'll need additional surgery or not.
When I found out about Kiah and his situation, we also had a couple of other children at the time, Gunnar Rambo and Remy. Jennifer Champy was on the show, and she talked about curetbm.org, and we tried to bring awareness to this subject, and I know that you've connected with a lot of families through Boston, and it is a community that's there for the TBM family.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We actually were there when Gunnar and Remy were in Boston, so we all got to meet up, and we all connected through the show. So that was really exciting, and it's just good to have people there for you. And Jennifer Champy, she's our champion. She really is. She has TBM herself as an adult, and she's dedicated her life to help families get connected to the right doctors that can actually help these kids and adults alike. And she's actually in the hospital right now. So we're just rallying around her and doing what we can to encourage her because she has been such an encouragement to us.
There's a cake sale that's going on for Kiah now. He has some more testing to be done in the month of May, right?
Yes, we go back to Johns Hopkins All Children's in Florida. We leave the 14th of May. So, yeah, I make bundt cakes, like miniature bundt cakes, and I started that just to help raise money for these medical trips because we're a one-income family. So all the proceeds that I do from cakes are basically donations for, these trips because they're so expensive.
Talk about the emotions that come with having a child who has to be preparing for surgeries and things of this nature that affect the child's airway, and you're concerned about his future. These other parents are the same, and you talked about Jennifer and the impact she's having on this TBM community, but talk about how it affects you and your family.
This type of thing for a lot of kids is not diagnosed until after birth. So we were not prepared at all for what was to come, but we knew right away that something was not right with Kiah. And because a lot of it is misdiagnosed, we spent a whole year in and out of the hospital trying to figure out what was wrong with our child. And it was very lonely, and you almost feel crazy because you keep going back to the doctor, you keep being admitted to the hospital, but nobody knows what's wrong. And it's because hospitals, at least our local hospitals and a lot of other hospitals, are not trained to check for the airway collapse that these kids have. And so there's only a few hospitals. There's actually only 3 hospitals right now that are recognized by Cure TBM, which is the foundation that helps all of us. So you have Cincinnati Children's, who does the specific surgery that can treat it and correct it. You have Boston Children's, which is the number one hospital. And then one of the surgeons from Boston left there and went to Johns Hopkins All Children's in St. Pete in Florida. And so we followed Dr. Smithers to Florida because it's closer for us. It's about a 10-hour drive. And he's an incredible surgeon. So we have these 3 hospitals for kids. There's a couple other hospitals for adults, but I don't know the exact hospitals because I'm not dealing with that. But they are listed on the website. So these hospitals do surgery that no one else will do. A lot of these kids either end up with a poor quality of life or a trach and are vent dependent because they can't get the treatment they need. And so the surgery that's done is a newer surgery in the last 10 years. So for surgery's sake, that's a new surgery. And so it's scary for parents like us to have to make that decision to go forward with surgery because there is a lot of unknowns for the future for these kids. Like, we don't know if the surgery will hold if they grow. There's just so many questions, but the surgery is so life-changing for our kids that it's so worth it. Kiah went from unable to eat by mouth at all, not walking or anything at 16 months, to being able to walk and start to eat by mouth, all because he could actually breathe and wasn't using his energy for just breathing, because it was taking all of his energy to breathe. And so I guess the biggest thing is just the part about feeling so alone and scared going into surgery. So we have a group on Facebook that allows us as moms. There's some dads in there too, but it's mostly moms in our group that support each other and give advice of what to expect for surgery. We share pictures of post-op. That was one of the biggest things for me for post-op. And I think it was actually Jennifer that shared a picture of Gunner for me after his surgery, because it's to see like the chest tube and everything. And so it's just simple things like that that help other moms be more comfortable going in and knowing what to expect and not feeling so alone.
As you get ready for your trip, Stephanie, on May the 17th, I know that there are people who are connected with you in the Baton Rouge area who might be interested in one of these bundt cakes, and I wanted you to be able to share how they could be able to help you in this effort as you make these cakes.
We only have about 2.5 weeks to get ready. So right now, the next 2 weekends, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of cakes and selling them. I have some people that have ordered cakes already, but I just post what I have made on my Facebook, and people come and buy them. And they've been so great buying all these cakes because I know everybody's trying to lose weight and be healthy, but I have some of the most amazing people in my community that have supported Kiah and always buy these cakes. They'll just show up. We've worked farmers markets that have been rained out or not a good turnout. And if people find out that I'm left with a whole bunch of cakes, they just show up at my door to buy them. And I'm just so thankful that our community loves Kiah and helps us do this, because this is going to be our 8th trip out of state for medical treatment for Kiah. And so I don't think people understand the cost that comes with that unless you've lived that. Insurance only pays for so much, and sometimes they won't pay for out-of-state stuff. And when you start going to these big cities, hotel and food, all that stuff adds up so quickly, especially if you have to take, other children with you. And so so it's a family affair, and it gets expensive. And we're just so grateful for everyone who supported us through our fundraisers for these trips.
Absolutely. Stephanie, if it's okay, I want to take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to turn our sights on Hazel and Blue's Reborn Nursery. I was really amazed with your artwork, from taking a blank kit to a finished baby and seeing this beautiful work that you're doing. Will you stick with me?
Yes, I will.
Folks, right now we're talking to Stephanie Frederic. You remember her from a couple of years ago coming on the Mark White Show as we talked about Kiah and the special picture that was taken with him and Santa Claus as we were bringing awareness to Tubie babies. They ultimately won that contest. I believe it included a gift certificate that they were able to go and get some Christmas gifts. I know that was a great experience for them. And now we have Stephanie Frederic back on the line with us as we continue to talk about Hezekiah's strength. We talk about this special boy named Kiah, and boy, he has grown up on us. He's growing fast, isn't he, Stephanie?
He is. He's growing so fast.
But if you'll stick with us, we'll continue this conversation, and we're going to talk about a special artwork that Stephanie Frederic does through Hazel and Blue's Reborn Nursery. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Yeah, every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
Whether you're new to aviation or an experienced pilot looking to advance your skills, Go Vertical Aviation has you covered. With an excellent learning atmosphere and a staff committed to excellence in education, Go Vertical Aviation will customize a learning program just for you. For more information, go to goverticalaviation.com or call 256-412-5226. Be sure to follow Go Vertical Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Don't just go. Go vertical.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta, Nashville, and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
The best way to buy, sell, and experience land is with Jonathan Berryhill. For your farm, ranch, recreational, hunting, timber, and acreage needs, contact National Land Realty Professional Jonathan Berryhill at 256-874-7354 or email at jberryhill@nationalland.com. Be sure to follow Jonathan Berryhill with National Land Realty on Facebook. This is your land. Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256-952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Losing a loved one is hard, but losing a loved one and not having an estate plan is even harder. Attorney Harlan Mitchell witnessed what not having an estate plan can do to families and decided to use his experience to do something about it. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884. Again, that website is BamaEstatePlanning.com. Let Harlan Mitchell help you with estate planning. Do it for those you love, and do it today.
He's got a cold, nothing to worry about.
Just need a couple of stitches.
Your COVID rapid test is negative.
Oh boy, X-ray shows it's broken.
Trust Trinity Medical Care when you need urgent care or routine medical care. Walk-ins are welcome, or let Trinity help you virtually with telemedicine. Visit trinity-medicalcare.com for more information and follow them on Facebook. Trinity Medical Care, where your care comes first. Located on Governor's Drive and South Parkway.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Overstreet, and you are listening to The Mark White Show. Stay tuned because Mark is doing some things on his show that's helping his community and uplifting people, so you stay with him.
He drives into the city, works extra hard all day, finishes up early so he can get away. Blue-eyed kid on second base wants
Welcome back to the Mark White Show. This is a Wednesday edition of the Mark White Show, and I'm so glad to have my friend Stephanie Frederic back on the line with us just outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as we talk about Hezekiah's strength. We've talked about Kiah. He's a special little boy down there who, along with some other children that I've met over the years of doing the Mark White Show, he is facing TBM. And you have followed this TBM journey if you have followed Hezekiah's strength. And there are other things that I wanted to recognize that Stephanie is doing. We talked about a cake sale that's going on. If you're in the Baton Rouge area, if you can make contact with Stephanie Frederic to get one of those cakes, I know that would be helpful. And then Stephanie also has Hazel and Blue's Reborn Nursery. And I was amazed at this work, Stephanie. I saw the picture of the blank kit, and then I saw the finished baby, and I was blown away.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's kind of crazy, actually. People don't know what to think. They're either amazed like you, or they're totally creeped out. So it's a little bit of both.
I thought they were beautiful works of art. And you explained a little bit when I messaged you about what this means for some people who may have fertility issues or have lost a baby in the past, and how this can comfort them.
Yeah, so when I got started, I've always loved dolls. And at Reborn Dolls, again, because my little girl loves dolls so much. And we've done a lot of different dolls with G-tubes and different medical equipment to help Kiah and to help his sister and brother know what to expect for certain things. And so, but I wanted a more realistic doll for my little girl. So I started looking and actually bought one from a friend. And then I realized I could actually do it. And so in September, when Kiah had his third airway surgery, he was in the OR for 10 hours. And all through quarantine, I had been researching all the stuff that I needed to do to start this. And my desire when I began this was to make dolls for dementia patients because they're used as therapy dolls. So it can help redirect bad behavior into something good, because with dementia patients, when you put a baby in their arms, they sometimes can revert back to when they had their own children. And so it helps them stay focused on something good instead of bad behaviors they may have, like fleeing and things like that. So nursing homes use them a lot, but also families with dementia patients. I had one family contacted me. Her grandmother, she was a friend of mine from college, and her grandmother had got this little king cake baby, because we're from Louisiana, so we eat lots of king cake, but she had found this little king cake baby, and she was treating that little king cake baby like a real baby, carrying it around everywhere, like she thought that was her baby. And I was like, no, we have to fix this. And so we made her a new baby that was a lifelike baby, and she just loved that baby. That video is actually shared on my page somewhere, and it just lit the fire under me. And I was like, I have to do more of these. And so my focus after that 10 hours in the OR, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead to keep busy. I'm going to go ahead and order my supplies. And that's what I did. And so when we got home in October after Kiah's surgery, I got busy and I started learning. And so through Christmas and stuff, I was able to do some like play dolls for little girls for Christmas. And being able to do a few dolls like that, I was able to buy more kits to donate to families as therapy dolls. So far, I've been able to donate to dementia patients, special needs kids. I got to donate a Down syndrome baby to a little girl with Down syndrome, and she finally had a baby that resembled her. And I got to place a G-tube in it because CC has a G-tube. So she got a baby with a G-tube that eats like her and looks like her, because you can't typically get babies that look like a lot of kiddos. And so that's one of the good things about these. You can kind of resemble them. You buy kits, but then sometimes there's kits. There's one with like dwarfism that's available, and there's a couple Down syndrome kits now. And so there is an opportunity to paint dolls that look like kids that ordinarily wouldn't have a doll. that looks like them. And it's so important, that representation and just the therapy aspect of it for older people. I'm working on a doll now for an adult woman with special needs, and she can't have kids. And she's a high-functioning special needs adult. She even nannies, but she loves dolls, and her birthday is coming up in September. And so I'm gifting her a little boy doll because she wanted a little boy. I'm gifting her a doll because she struggles so bad with the fact that she can never have kids of her own. And, of course, this doesn't replace a baby for sure, but these babies are weighted and they're painted so lifelike. Their skin looks so real. And the way they're weighted and feel in your arms feels like a real baby. It feels like you're holding a real baby. So you have to, support the baby's head, all that. And so that brings about the same emotions and feelings that it does when you hold a new baby for the first time. It brings about, it helps anxiety and depression for so many people. Some people just collect these dolls, but a lot of people use them for those purposes, for therapy and anxiety and depression. And so it's a way of healing for them. I have a woman who I've made 3 dolls for her so far, and she was never able to have kids of her own. And this has been such a help for her during COVID when she was stuck in her home for so long and so lonely, and these dolls mean so much to her. And so it's really been eye-opening for me to see how much it helps people because, 6 months ago, I would have never understood how helpful it truly is for people. But now listening to other people's stories and being able to help other people has done nothing but encourage me to make more babies. So I've definitely turned into the crazy baby lady, and I'm just so thankful for my husband who doesn't mind that I have baby parts all over our house. He's been so encouraging and so supportive of all of it, and so I'm just thankful that I have the opportunity to stay home with Kiah and keep him safe, as well as homeschool my kids and do something that's meaningful for people all over, not just in my community, but literally I ship babies all over.
One of the things I was going to ask, and you answered that question, Stephanie, when it comes to the unique faces that I'm seeing, they're all so different, but it takes an artistic ability for you to be able to take these faces, these blank kits, and then create to make it look like a baby that they had. So it takes a lot of artistic ability to do that.
Yeah, and I've always been artistic, and I've always looked for a way to express myself through art, but never really found my thing. But like I told another artist this morning, this is definitely my thing, and I just love that I can bring so much joy to people, but it brings so much joy to me too. I just love being able to paint, and it's therapy for me, actually. It helps calm me, and it's just something that I love to do. And I'm just thankful that I found something I love to do that helps other people as well.
Well, Stephanie, I want to make sure that people know how they can find out more about Hazel and Blue's Reborn Nursery, to follow the page, to connect with you if they would like to have a baby doll themselves.
So I'm just on Facebook. You can find my page and message me through there. I don't have anything special, really. I'm not, a professional artist. I just started, but like I said, I love doing what I do, and I'm just so thankful that I can help others. I'm just thankful for that, for sure.
Absolutely. I want people to follow Hazel and Blue's Reborn Nursery. When I saw the dolls, I immediately took my mind back to when my daughter Cora was a baby, and thinking about how wonderful it would be to have a likeness of Cora from those times. Yeah. And I saw all those pictures, and I just imagine how it makes some of these people feel. And I know you're doing a great work, and I'm glad that you found that talent and that ability. And again, I want people to follow Hezekiah's strength as we continue to follow Kiah's journey, and then also recognize Jennifer Champy. As you mentioned, she's in the hospital, and we want to recognize her great work with the TBM community. And also, I want people to take a minute to follow her effort, curetbm.org, and that's the work of Jennifer Champion. We appreciate her being a champion, if you will, for TBM.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening that has a child with airway issues and wants to know more about the Facebook groups I mentioned, they can just message me directly and I'll send them the link for sure.
For those who need a spelling, that's HEZEKIH', the word strength, STRENGTH. Stephanie Frederic, it's a real joy to have you back on the program to catch up and to be able to hear about Kiah and these beautiful dolls that you're working on, and I appreciate the fact that you were able to join me here on the Mark White Show today.
Thank you so much.
Folks, we've been talking to Stephanie Frederic. I hope that you'll follow Hezekiah Strength, and then also you can go to her page and find Hazel and Blue's Reborn Nursery. Go check that out. We appreciate Stephanie Frederic joining us here on the Mark White Show today. The Mark White Show is here to recognize difference makers and share their stories to encourage and inspire us all, and I hope that if you are encouraged and inspired by this show, that you'll share it with your friends, your neighbors, and your family members. Let them know about the Mark White Show. I encourage you to follow the Mark White Show podcast. Subscribe to the podcast via Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Blueberry, YouTube, and TuneIn Radio. You have been listening to a Wednesday edition of the Mark White Show, and this is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Who live and love in my hometown. These are my kind of people.
Hello there, everybody. This is DJ Svoboda with the Imagine Friends of Imagiville, dedicated to spreading autism acceptance and autism inclusion, and you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi, everybody. This is DJ Thomas. You know, raindrops may be falling on your head, but on Kyla's corner, she's living life sunny side up.
Nothing seems to fit. You are my sunshine, my only.
This is Kyla Carter of Kyla's Corner. You can hear my segment every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on The Mark White Show. Remember to tune in every Saturday and always live life sunny side up.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
If you like hickory smoked ribs that fall apart at the slightest pull, or barbecue shoulders that are so slow smoked each tender bite melts in your mouth, then you are going to love Baby Jack's Barbecue. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett and Arlington. Try the barbecue chicken, beef brisket sandwich, barbecue potato, it is huge, or the Baby Jack Trio, pork, turkey, or beef brisket sliders. You like wet ribs? They like dry ribs. Get one slab that has them both. Catering? Baby Jack's can feed a family or an army. Drive in, drive through, order online, or come in and set a minute. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett at Highway 70 in Appling, or in Arlington at Highway 70 just a block west of 385.
Hello, my name is Christian Martinez. I'm a rising senior at Athens Bible School. My school is great because of the wonderful environment in which students can grow and flourish. We have great academics that include the University Preparatory Diploma and dual enrollment courses that lead to an associate's degree before high school graduation. All my teachers and the school's employees are Christians who are devoted to the welfare of students. We have an excellent student body, competitive sports program, and study the Bible first thing every day. It's a great place. Please consider joining us at ABS next year, or give that special child in your life the great opportunity I have.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Oh, won't you hear me, people, when I say, well, let's all do something good today.